Hola Unconventionals, I'm Amelia.
And I'm JP.
And this is Leisha.
And today we're going to tell you how Amelia hurt herself and what it's like to be injured in a small rural town in Ecuador.
Before we share the details, if you're new to our channel and you're thinking of visiting or moving to Ecuador, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell please, because we show what it's really like to live in Ecuador.
All right, guys, we also shared our weekly blog post over on Live Abroad Now. It's all about the Ecuador Temporary Resident Visa, and a lot of things have changed. I spent quite a bit of time on the phone yesterday with Maite from Gringo Visas. She answered a bunch of questions for me for this new blog post because a lot of things have changed in the last year, really in the last few months with the visas. So all of the details on that are in the blog post, which I will link in the description below.
All right.
Are you going to tell the story,
I'm
Amelia?
going to tell the story.
This is how Amelia injured herself.
So the reason Leisha is guest starring in this video is because she is the reason for my accident.
Yep.
Because Leisha is, I think she's getting close to 20 years old now, unconventional. She's a very old girl, so she has accidents in the house. We had gone out, we put the dogs outside, and...
Well, we put the dogs out, and then we went out to dinner and came back. We weren't even gone that long.
We got a couple hours.
Yeah.
But Leisha peed on the floor.
Yep.
On the tile floor, which the tile floors are slippery to begin with, and then JP put a paper towel down, and then I came around the corner and
just slipped and her knee just went pop.
I stepped on the paper towel and I didn't fall, but man, I twisted it and it was painful and very, very loud.
Yeah.
That pop was so loud, the pop heard round the world.
That's what she's calling it, the pop heard around the world.
Okay, maybe I'm being a little dramatic.
Yeah, I was in the kitchen about 15 feet away and I heard it. And I'm like, oh no, what happened? She's like, oh my God, oh my God. She's like, I can't walk, I can't walk.
Yep, so I hobbled into the bedroom and woke up the next morning and I tried to walk and I had massive shooting pain and there was no way in heck I could walk. Not an option.
Yep, so now she knows what it's like to sit down taking a shower.
Yes, I do.
I did that a lot after recovering from my spinal surgery, so I'm familiar with that, but now I had to take the patio chair into the shower so she could take a shower.
But, you know, it was kind of scary too because we were like, well, shoot, we're here and alone and the closest true hospital is in La Libertad, which is an hour away. What do we do? Unfortunately, I didn't feel like I had needed to go to the emergency room, but...
Yeah, and these kind of things, I told her, let's wait. This happened on, a Wednesday night? So it was Thursday morning, and I said, let's give it a couple days. If it's not better by Monday, we'll go to La Libertad and get it x-rayed. So I went on Thursday morning and posted in Alone Life, which is a Facebook group here run by our neighbor, Bill and Caroline. It's a really helpful group for all of the local expats. And I posted in there that Amelia hurt herself and we need some crutches. And boy, the help flooded in.
Yes, it was amazing. Thanks to everyone so much. That's the beauty of living in a small community is the neighbors really come out and support each other. And wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, it really was.
How fast
I know, it was like immediately. Within a few minutes, Mike, our neighbor from over here, was yelling outside, I have a brace for you. So we went out and I went outside and he's like, here, I've got a brace. This should work. And so that works great. That's the one she's been wearing.
Yes, thank you, Mike, so much. Your brace is fantastic.
And then Julie, she was a nurse in her previous life, an ER nurse. So she also spends time in Cuenca, and we knew them in Cuenca, her and her husband. And she responded and said they had some painkillers, Motrin and Tylenol, the heavy strength stuff. And they also had an ice pack and another knee brace. And so I walked down the beach and got those from them. And then we had, who else? Bill offered us his crutches, but they came up to here on Amelia, even on the lowest setting. They were still way too tall for her. They would have worked for me,
but we appreciate the thought. And Julie, thanks to your advice too, because Julie also told JP that we should just give it a few days and see how it goes. If it gets worse, then I need to go to the doctor. But fortunately, it did not get worse. It got better, and that ice pack was a godsend too, so thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great to have the ice pack. We just didn't have any of that kind of stuff.
No.
We had nothing other than an ankle brace for me. We didn't have knee braces, crutches, or anything.
Well, the funny thing is that ankle brace is actually mine. I have a long history of slipping on things, twisting ankles. This is the first time I've jacked up my knee like this, falling downstairs. This goes way, way back to when I was a kid, not just since we moved to Ecuador.
Yeah. So another resource here is Deb's List, but unfortunately Deb's List has been down. Google, she uses the Google Groups for that, and Google flagged it as spam, and so she hasn't been able to send out messages in over a week, and we're working on getting that fixed.
She is.
Yeah, she is. So there will be more emails from her, but that would have been another resource. So Deb, in lieu of that, contacted us directly and put us in contact with a woman in Rio Chico, which is just a little way south of here by Mongrel Alto. And she had a walker.
Oh my gosh, that walker is awesome. Thank you, Shirley, so much for letting us borrow the walker and the other little scooter thing, which I actually haven't ended up using. But I think that walker is amazing. I mean, I could just zip around all over the place. And it takes all the weight off of my knee. So most of the time I've been spending in bed and keeping it elevated and iced. But obviously I have to get up and move around. And that walker has been amazing.
Yeah, that was the real savior for,
yes,
for
it
her.
really was.
Because we couldn't get crutches right away. But then Deb and Gabby went to La Libertad on Saturday and picked up some short person crutches.
Yes. So now I have them, and if anyone else in Olone that is my height or shorter needs them, you're set.
Yeah. Well, once you're done using them.
Well, yeah, I'm still using them.
She's mainly just using one, so she kind of hobbles around like a pirate, which goes well with her Chicago accent.
Oh, ha ha ha.
When we head out to the bars.
We're not heading out to the bars. I'm injured.
No. We'd have to take a car. But we could go look at the stars.
Okay. That is true. I do have an accent. I'm not going to deny it.
I joke about her pirate accent all the time. And now she has a crutch and a hobble just like a pirate.
All I need is an eye patch.
Get her an eye patch and we'd be all set.
Anyway, I'm just so happy that it's been a week and my knee is already feeling a lot better. I know I have to really take it slow so I don't re-injure it, but fortunately, I can put weight on it again and, like JP said, walk with just one crutch. So I'm doing much better. Thanks to everyone for your support. And again, thanks to everyone for coming out and helping us so much, because we didn't really know at first what we were going to do. And I guess we would have had to try to maybe go to Mongrel Alto. They do have an emergency hospital there, but I know they don't have a lot of services.
Yeah, there is. Deb sent me the contact info for the place in La Libertad. It's like an orthopedic store, so they have walkers, crutches, canes. They have like handicapped toilet seats and bars and all kinds of stuff. She said they had pretty much anything you might need if you've injured yourself. So I'll put the information to that in the description in case you need to go find that place in La Libertad.
Yeah, and now I feel like we need to add a knee brace to our arsenal.
I think we do.
Between the two of us, because I guess I just need to pay more attention. I also have a habit of bumping into things, and I had bumped into a couple things the previous week, and my poor leg just got the crap beat out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks to this little
It is definitely a lot different being in a small rural town when you get injured. In Cuenca, we could have just gone out and bought crutches. We could have just gone to the doctor the next day if we wanted to, and everything would have been so much easier because we lived right by all those places. But here, there isn't really a good place to go except La Libertad, which is an hour away, and she couldn't walk, and we didn't have crutches, and so we just didn't really know what we were going to do.
There is a local doctor here in the Comuna, but I mean, I don't know what he could have possibly done. We would have really needed to go to
and there's probably other places here that we could have found crutches, but nobody seemed to know where in this local area. So it's really, you have to rely a lot more on your community.
Yes, word of mouth.
For help versus in Cuenca, we just would have gone to the doctor.
Yeah. So it's
a bit different, and I don't know. I guess it's just a lot different than being in a city.
It is, but it's also very heartwarming. It's really nice because Shirley lent us her walker and her little scooter thing. She'd never met us before, Unconventional. She didn't know us.
Yep.
So she went on the word of Deb, and I mean, how awesome is that to help a stranger in need and give them your stuff?
Yeah, so I just hopped in the cab. I told the guy I wanted to go to Rio Chico and back. It's Rio Chico y Vuelta. Vuelta means in return, basically. And he said it was $6, so it took me right down there. It took about 10 minutes, maybe 10-minute drive. And I got the stuff and put it in the cab and came back. And
Yes, so we're truly grateful to everyone, and so amazing to be part of this community. It really is.
It is. It is definitely a supportive community of both
Yes.
expats and locals. Everybody seems to really help each other out, especially when in a time of need.
Yes, and in case anyone's wondering, Leisha is just fine. She's been in heaven because she's just been laying with mommy in bed.
Yeah, she spends all of her time in bed anyway, and if we're not in bed, then she comes out in the main area and goes the whole time until we put her in bed, like
Yeah.
she's like snorting at us.
She is very pampered, but she is very, very old.
Yeah, I guess when you're that old, you can be pampered.
So the other reason we wanted to record this video is because since I'm not as mobile as I was, our video plans have changed slightly. So we're
Yeah.
going to be doing a lot more of this, what
Yeah.
JP is calling patio chats.
Yeah, our patio chats.
At least for the next couple of weeks. I don't
Yeah.
want to overdo it.
In Cuenca, we called them the courtyard chat, and here I guess it's patio since this isn't a courtyard.
Correct.
Yeah, but we have a lot of cool things to share in the coming weeks until Amelia is good enough to walk again.
Although so we heard one of our viewers, David, hola David, told us about an organic farm that's close by, but not close enough for me to walk. So JP,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah, he said it's about a 15-minute walk from here toward Montanita, I guess.
Yeah,
So
to check it out and
we'll have to
film
go,
it.
Yeah, I'm going to go film that.
That sounds yummy.
Awesome, guys. You have anything else you want to share? Any other words of wisdom about being injured in a small rural town in Ecuador?
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best piece of advice. And I'll put a link to Alone Life, the Facebook group, in our description as well, in case you want to go join that. You don't have to live here to be a part of that group. And it's a really nice way to kind of tap into the community even before you move.
It is. And if you're interested in Deb's List, let us know about that too. Because
Yeah.
that will be up and running soon, and she is working on a new website.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, we're very excited for the evolution of Deb's List. All right, guys, I think that's all we have for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, leave us a thumbs up.
Yes, please. We hope you have an unconventional day, and we'll see you all in our next video.
Ciao.
Ciao.